Welcome back to Inside Politics right here on KTN News. We now want to take your calls and we go straight to Murang'a where Gian Wahome is online. Good afternoon, Gian. What are your thoughts about the discussions today?
Good afternoon, Indimuli. Glad to hear from you and greet the panel. Now, I'll quickly go to our Mount Kenya politics, and I want to look into Mother endorsement as the regional as the community spokesperson. This is not as an accident, and there's something that Bichache once said that there's a looming battle that is currently playing out in Uda. You remember that Moses Kuria has been the forefront in fighting and marketing Uda in central Kenya. Finally, the cows are coming. They're coming. The chicken are coming home to roast, and it's very clear that there's a very big trouble in. And so, mother appointment and endorsement by one courier and Kiunjiri is not a coincidence. We all remember mother role that he played during the Grand Corps government, and you can imagine if Mother Karua credentials and CV, those are CVs that speak for themselves. I really look forward to this country if we can get a Raila presidency with Mother Karua as his deputy. I can just imagine how this nation can progress. And you can take this to the bank. Mother Karua is not an individual who will sit down and negotiate with William Ruto. I know people say that politics is all about interest, but going by the sentiments by one Mother Karua in the past, the likelihood of Mother working with Ruto, that one I can, from where I sit, is an impossibility.
Okay.
The other thing that played out this week in the Muli, and very importantly, as we head to 2022, what individuals are we really looking to employ in our public offices? That in this country, there are individuals who, despite what they have done, and it is in the domain, they are still so much determined to run for public offices. This week alone, we saw an individual in the name of one Anne Waiguru, yes, the person who told the whole country that he wanted lighter duties after money being embezzled in NYS. Now, for political survival, he wants to run to UDA. The other person, we also saw the deputy president, for the second time also embracing former governor. We also saw just recently hung out with a governor in Mukuru who has a very active court case. These are the questions that Kenyans should really interrogate on who are we going to trust this nation into the hands of.
Thank you, Gian. Gian Wahome from Murang'a sharing his thoughts on the discussions this morning, especially around the Mount Kenya politics. Let's now move on to Githurai. David Mwai is on phone from Githurai. Good afternoon, David. What are your thoughts about our discussions today?
Around the Mount Kenya politics.
David, good afternoon. You're live on Inside Politics. Kindly reduce the volume of your television set so that we can be able to communicate better.
Okay. Thank you very much, Indimuri.
Yes.
Yes. Let me be brief and say that all this unit about regions. Hello. Okay. Thank you very much, Indimuri. All this unit about region is about selfish interest of elites who come up with magical slogans and what the Duke of Mososho is calling the snake oil salesmen. They will come up with the slogans, but at the end of the day, once they get there, the Wajiko will continue to suffer. Even this new young generation, let me tell you for free, they will follow the norm. They will follow the norm and vote through emotions. They will not follow the logical way. And that's why you see we are electing mediocres like Sonko and Waitito. So we are in big, big trouble. I don't know what will come up for us, who will come to help us.
Okay.
Let me also say that Luke is a clever man, a man who can package himself in solid, gaseous, and liquid state. He knows very clearly how to handle everyone. This is a man who cooks two pots, one containing delicious food and the other one poisonous food. And now it depends on the circumstances and the situation. He knows which one to serve. Lastly, my question for today is, when we hear about all these scandals, mega corruptions, Anglo-Leasing, Goldenberg, NYS1, NYS2, Kemsa scandal, are these things real or they are just dramas? Because we have not known how they ended up. We have not seen any conviction. Are they real or they just movies? Thank you.
Thank you, David. David Mwai from Githurai. Let's take another caller. Dr. Mukiri Githendo, also from Muranga. Dr. Mukiri, a very good afternoon. Kindly share your thoughts on the show today.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Mukiri, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have two or three things. One is about the deputy president going out to insult the president and calling him out, or he is still the DP of the government. I find that very strange, but I will just tell him that deep state is indeed too deep, as by Kememia recently. Number two, Mother Karua seems to have no local study. The issues that she would want us to engage in were in the BBI, and she was opposed to BBI. So she cannot be our voice at this moment. I also want to talk about sloganeering. The youth of these days have got access to media, to ICT, and they are educated. So you cannot really just take them for a ride, giving them empty slogans. I do believe many of these people just coming up with empty or half-baked models will see how our youth will react. I also want to mention that people like Governor Waiguru are going to get lost because she'll be neither here nor there. She was in BBI, and that was the best place for her. Now she'll be neither cold nor hot. She'll not be accepted in UDA. She'll not go back to BBI or hardship.
Okay.
It's very, very interesting to see how things are going around the mountain now.
Thank
but
you.
I hope for the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mukiri Githendo, calling us from Muranga. And finally, let's take one more caller, Victor Osok from Nairobi. Good afternoon, Victor. What are your thoughts? Victor Osok from Nairobi, a very good afternoon. Your call has been patched onto Inside Politics. We are ready to hear your opinion and comments regarding our discussions today.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. Victor, kindly, if you could lower the volume of your television set so that you can be able to communicate better.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go on.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right. Just a quick one. And for me, it's the silence around Uhuru Kenyatta that if I was a strategist for ODM and Raila Odinga, I'd be worried about. If you look at it of late, he's quiet, and his troops on the ground, the ones who are his key followers, are also silent when it comes to Odinga's candidacy and also telling him in Mount Kenya. So from where I sit, if I was in Raila Odinga's camp, I'd be very worried, and I'd be looking at exploring other options devoid of Uhuru Kenyatta. This also shows the fact that we have North Kenyan leaders who are coming up with their own thing, and if you've heard them, most of them are are coming towards the side of Uhuru Kenyatta, but they're not taking anything in regards to Raila Odinga's candidacy. So my concern would be that probably the handshake has invest in Raila Odinga rather than building him, because his support is being eaten into, and his handshake, rather, in my view, is not helping him in any way.
Okay, thank you, Victor.
Enjoy your afternoon.
Okay, a very good afternoon, Victor Osok from Nairobi. And Victor, there was some technical challenge there. I couldn't hear him clearly, but I got one of his concerns was the apparent silence by President Uhuru Kenyatta over the last few weeks. He had come out strongly in support of some political alliances, but now he has gone silent. You could choose to comment on that as you give your final thoughts, but I'd want to challenge you probably now moving forward. What should we expect to see? We've already discussed what happened last week. Now this is a new week. A lot is happening today. Deputy President William Ruto is in Meru. Raila Odinga is in Nanyuki. What should we expect to see going forward as you make your final comments? Let's start with you, Mark.
I think what Kenyans should expect to see is the cacophony of musical chairs that our politicians play, where they try to pretend the forest is different and the monkeys are different. But I must tell Kenyans that the forest is the same. We are still in Kenya. The monkeys are the same. Whether they are in UDA, Jubilee A, Jubilee B, ODM, it's the same animals. The question then a Kenyan must ask himself is, how do I make a decision? Now I'll advise them. The slogan does not make a person. Indeed, them kneeling before Luya elders, Kisii elders, Kalenjin elders does not change them 1 inch. They have done so every 5 years. Indeed, even kneeling today before God with the tears in their eyes does not an angel make. I will tell them what I've said and sung over and over again. A tiger does not change its stripes. Go and look at their history. Look at what they have done since 1992. If you were not born, Google is your friend. Find out what YK92 is. Find out who was against the 2010 Constitution and who was for it. Find out what happened with molasses. Find out what happened with Weston. Find out what happens with maize in this country. And then, if you have access, go ask the Jirongos. Go ask President Kibaki. Go ask Ole Kaparo. All these retired leaders, and find some wisdom and distill for yourself between the gold that glitters that is not gold and the gold that is real, tested by the fires of time and has proved consistent.
Okay. Javas?
To remain silent when they must speak makes the cowards of men. President Kenyatta should and indeed will speak perhaps. But when he speaks and when even Raila Odinga is going out to the field to solicit for votes, William Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi, all these leaders, what we want them to speak about, in fact, quite eloquently, is that how much money has the public lost for the last 9 years? Because that rests on the leader of this government. Kenyans have lost and they'll continue to lose even as we get into the election and beyond. The battle for Kenya is now what is in contest as we head into this election. But we want individuals who will want to get to the heart of a country to save it. Not men and women who will want to get to the heart of a nation to destroy it forever. And that is what we are appealing to these presidential candidates. The essence of a missionary is to spread the gospel and win new converts. That's what we are seeing William Ruto doing, we are seeing Musalia Mudavadi doing, we are seeing Kalonzo doing, we are seeing Raila Odinga doing. But now for us who are listening to that gospel, the question to us and for us is this gospel true and real and of worth salvation for the country and for our future? Because when that time comes and the question is put before us, when we were to hand over and deliver this country to the next generation, did we do the honors in a manner that is worth of individuals who are vanguards of not just the democracy, but of the country?
Thank you. Finally, Dismas Mukuru.
As you approach the 2022 scoreboard, Kenyans have got 2 choices. I know the ones Mark has been talking about. We have 2 choices. One is status quo, which is impunity, mediocrity, and corruption. And the other choice is economic liberation. So Mura has got a choice. They can go for candidates who score A in impunity, A in corruption, and A in mediocrity, or they look for candidates who are going to create economic opportunities. And in my view, all Kenyans should study basic economics, which says that rational human beings act in their selfish interests. And Muram right now must rise up to be rational and vote in leaders who are going to open economic opportunities. So when they come across Raila Odinga, or when they come across Jimmy Wanjigi, or they come across Musalia Mudavadi, let them ask those candidates, what is your economic plan? And how are you going to create opportunities for me? If I'm a painter, is it possible that I can paint and buy a property in Karen? If I'm a sweeper, is it possible that I can sweep and own a property in Muthaiga? That's what Kenyans are looking for. They're looking for economic leadership. But if we become victims of our tribal leaders and then we fall in love with our captor, the Stockholm Syndrome, then the next 10 years are going to be complicated. And I've got the guts and alacrity to repeat that if you're not careful, Rwanda, Burundi are going to beat us.
Okay. Inside Politics is the name of the show. My name is Freddy Ndimuli. At KTN News, K is our Twitter handle. That's where the conversation continues beyond the show. Use the hashtag Inside Politics. We do this again next Sunday. Good afternoon.